Thomas Bloch, welcome to Mexico.
Thank you. Well, I was born in France, in a town in east of France called Colmar in Alsace, where there is a very famous wine, white wine there. In 1962. And I studied there first music, just normal classes as everybody has to do. And I studied piano at this moment. I began when I was about 7 years old. Later I moved to a bigger town, to the university in Strasbourg. But in the meantime I've heard a very strange instrument on the radio, an instrument called the ondas Martenot, who is a kind of ancestor of the synthesizers. Not exactly, but it's a kind of, it's an electric instrument, one of the very first electric instruments invented in the world. And I've heard it when I was about 8 or 9 years old, and so I was just fascinated by the sound of this instrument. And I've heard it on the radio, and I said, oh, I want to practice and to learn this instrument when I be older, because piano, I like the piano, but it was not my main instrument. I felt it in myself. So then I moved to Strasbourg, and I was lucky enough to know that there was a teacher there for the ondas Martenot in the conservatory, so I began immediately when I was 17. And then I continued to study this instrument in Paris, in the conservatory, with Jeanne Loriot, who was a sister-in-law from Olivier Messiaen. And then I obtained my prize there. So then I became a kind of professional musician playing the ondas Martenot. And when I was a student in Paris also, I discovered the instrument you spoke about, the glass harmonica, thanks to a recording in the 70s. A German musician called Bruno Hoffmann has recorded a few pieces composed by Mozart and Beethoven and other composers, especially composed for the glass harmonica. But he didn't play on a glass harmonica, he played on normal glasses put on a table, so you play like this and you go from one glass to another.
It's quite difficult, huh?
Oh, very difficult, yes, and big and so difficult to travel with and fragile and so on. And this instrument was called the seraphim or glass harp sometimes, or musical glasses. But on the booklet of the recording it was said works for glass harmonica. And I said, oh, what? I was also fascinated by the sound of the crystal played with wet fingers. And so, I was intrigued by the name glass harmonica. I made some research, and by coincidence, there was a German glass blower who lived near Boston in the United States who just rediscovered the glass harmonica. So I speak about that. It was in the 80s, 1980s, when I was a student. So I just called him and said, oh, I want to buy an instrument. I've never seen it before, but I want to buy it. He said, okay, you are one of the very first, but okay, welcome. So he just spent 1 year to work on my instrument and sent it to me. And I began to practice the instrument and learned it by myself. So, but at this time I began a professional ondas Martenot player at the same time. But it took 3 years just to study the glass harmonica by myself. And also, as I wanted to know a little bit more about glass instruments. And I discovered a few other ones, and one of them called the crystal Bachet, at the very beginning of the 90s. And it was also a kind of shock there. And it was a French instrument invented in the 1950s. So I decided to buy one to have full range of glass instruments and also strange.
What do you feel when you are listening to glass harmonic?
Oh, it's difficult to explain. So it's a good question, but it's also difficult to describe a sound. That's the same kind of question. What I feel, I'm just happy. And I was just fascinated. It's difficult to explain why. Because maybe there is a relation between the ondas Martenot, which is a very ethereal sound,
ethereal sound.
Almost like the kind of the people doesn't know exactly how it looks like, how it sounds. Similarity with the musical soul,
Yeah.
You know, but like it's also very ethereal and vocal and lyric and like this. And the glass harmonica also has the same kind of texture. Also, yes, I was not. I know I was not very completely happy with the piano. That's for me it's too percussive. My personal feeling.
Yeah.
So I like the instrument to have no beginning in the sound.
Yeah.
You can control the end very precisely,
Smooth.
very smooth. Oh, there are so many.
Yeah.
I play on. I have made a point recently, maybe 120 recordings.
Yeah.
With not only with the glass harmonica but also the own Martenot and the cristal Bachet I play. So I've played with Radiohead.
Yeah.
I've played live with them. Since 3 years I play in a project with Gorillaz, British pop band. Have toured for Tom Waits with Marianne Faithfull. So many experience. Also Vanessa Paradis, maybe you know her. She is a French singer, comedian also, but maybe much more famous as she's the wife of Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
So, and very kind. So I play on his last recording.
Yeah.
Also recently another well-known. I don't speak about many French singers I play with. But recently there is a very famous French electro group for who I have recorded called Daft Punk.
Yeah.
And they now live in Los Angeles because they make a lot of movie music. And this was for a movie also. It was in Cannes Festival this year.
Great experience.
So yeah, I'm quite happy because I am the only real musician in the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Because as you know, they mainly use, they are two, no?
Yeah.
They mainly use electronic keyboards and things like this, and computers. And they asked my glass instrument, the glass harmonica and the cristal Bachet, to add a special texture that they couldn't reproduce with the electronic instruments. So I'm quite happy.
Fortunately.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I've had many experience with that. I don't speak only about Daft Punk and a few other rock bands with who I played, but also in avant-garde music. So I play sometimes with musicians who work mainly in electronic things, electroacoustic. And I remember once I played with Michel Rodolphe, who is a French composer, involved in subaquatic music, underwater music. So that's a very nice experience. You just go in the swimming pool, you have special loudspeakers in the swimming pool, and you can receive the music through your bones, and also a bit through your ears, but mainly through your
vibration.
Your bones, yes, by vibration. So he makes electronic music, and sometimes we play together to add some special texture. And also because he likes to have live musicians with electronic transformation live, and so I like it very much.
Yeah.
It opens a big field of possibilities.
That's great. About all this experience that you have in also in recording studios, how can you tell us about some tips about recording this kind of instrument that maybe not so common to record?
No, each of them have specific problems. And the sound engineers, the first question is, which kind of microphone would you like me to use? Where do you want to put the microphones? I said, well, just try.
Yeah.
I'm open, so just listen to it and try by yourself. So I always like to learn from them also.
Yeah.
I don't like the stereotypes, so it's interesting to listen to the difference each time. So, and it also depends on so many things, like the place where you record, which is bigger, you have wood on the floor, or you have something else on the floor, carpet, or
Yeah.
It's a small, big, and you don't have the same microphone, and sometimes the microphones don't have the same stories and the others. Some are older than some are very new,
Yeah.
the same mark,
Yeah.
and so they don't sound the same. So
Yeah.
you have your job, I have my job.
Yeah.
Try and we can find something together.
You don't travel with microphones. Because it's a very important thing about your instrument. It's not very loud. But
No.
okay.
So it was mainly in the past when it was used, so between 1761 and 1835 when
Yeah.
the instrument disappeared. Main part of works were chamber music or solo or
Yeah.
pieces with voice, except one piece, which is the opera by Donizetti Lucia di Lammermoor, in which the instrument, the glass harmonica, was used in the mat scene. There was no big ensemble playing with
Yeah.
the instrument, so there was no problem. But today with big concerto, or when I play with orchestras, also new music, when I'm involved in operas, for example, some composers who compose operas with the glass harmonica today. So, and of course in pop music,
Yeah.
you have to be amplified.
Yeah. That would be all. I'm very glad that we have this talk. I'm sure that everybody that is looking or listening this interview, well, it would be very pleased to know you, Thomas Bloch.
Yes, and I will leave you some very new recording, never heard before. So,
What could be better than that? So, Thomas, thanks a lot
Thank
for
you.
this interview.
thank you.
And we hope that you come back to Mexico soon.
I hope to.
Thomas Bloch, thanks.
Bye bye.